but it's only part of my goal. So that's my 2021. I'm also learning French on Duolingo. So
Uh,
my whole life is apps. Spend all my free time on apps.
yeah. Regardless where it's coming from, Rebecca, you still growing. That's all that matters. So
That's
cool.
right. Everything digital
Cannon,
these days.
yeah. Cannon, like you were about to jump off.
I have too many goals. I need to lose weight. I
What's
need
your
a new
main
job.
goal? What's your main goal for
My main
2021?
goal,
Yeah.
just get
If
it
you could
all
pick one.
done. I have no plan. I want to do all these things, and it's my main goal. Um, Maybe my mental health. I don't know, because my mental health is involved with a lot of things. I think my mental health affects my weight, and it affects how dissatisfied I am with my job. So maybe my mental health.
I love it. I love it. I'm a huge mental health advocate.
Yeah.
That's definitely once you get I feel like once we get our mental health in alignment, everything else would sort of fall into place as time progresses. So
It
yeah, thank
affects
you.
everything. It affects
Yeah,
everything, really.
definitely. Thank you, Carolyn. The
Mhm.
mind controls everything. How you move, what you do, how you speak, what you think. So yeah. Sharice, I see you off mute. You wanted to share? Ha, you jumped back on mute. I'm watching you, Sharice. What's your main goal for 2021?
Um, yeah, I
Come
think I
on
would
now,
say.
Sharice. Man.
I feel like what's her name? I got a lot. I would say school is
So what
is
about
is
school?
finishing strong, finishing at least with a B plus ish.
There you go. There you go. That's what I'm talking about. That's a great goal. B plus. You have a plan for that?
Yes, studying. I have a bad habit of doing my homework the day that it's due, and instead of planning it in advance because I know it in advance. So that's that. I have to start being more proactive and planning, and being
Yeah,
proactive.
gotcha. I give you a good motto my friend gave me. He said, "Do what you got to do so you can do what you want to do." That's kind of like something I've adapted to my
Oh,
life.
I
So
like that.
yeah, I got to do what I got to do first, and then I can do what I want to do, and I won't feel guilty.
I'm
So
still in it. Thank you.
you will. Who's next?
I'll go. This year, I want to develop a consistent hobby outside of school. So something that's fun that I can enjoy that's outside of like my schoolwork.
You have an idea what that might be?
I took up running over quarantine and I actually really enjoyed just kind of like being out to myself. So it might be something that I pick back up.
Yeah, something I'm taking up. Is I'm gonna make sure Adrian
Adrian, yep.
and Adrian. Something I'm taking up is I want to take up is hiking. I done went and bought me some of them little hiking sticks. So if a snake run up on me, I can cha 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 cha. Yeah, but yeah, I feel you on that. That's awesome. Who we got next? Click, click, boom. Let me see. I might start calling names in. Chastain, did you say yours?
I don't know. I really ultimate
What-
goal would probably be not go crazy by the end of the year. I just found out I was having twins, so I'm gonna try not to go crazy.
Hmm.
So ultimately, I guess my goal for 2021 will be to get the rest of my kids back and get my shit together
Yeah,
better. So
yeah, definitely. How you feeling
like crap.
with the twin?
I feel
Yeah,
like crap.
yeah. I wanna we're gonna touch base tomorrow, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Who else we got? Miss Kathy. Who else we got? Big Cass. Miss
I'm
Kathy,
thinking
what's
about
your
it. I just don't know, but I'm thinking about it.
are you thinking about it? Okay, cool. That's good too. As long as we're thinking about it. That's a good thing. Who's next? Anybody else? Mackenzie, you have a goal? I'm trying to sit back in the cut. Gotta get you too. All right, then she done dipped on us. What about you, Jess?
My goal is kind of along the lines of mental health, but it is to develop a community here because I
Mhm.
moved in March of the pandemic. So
Mhm.
just to once we're able to get out, I'll get out. But like part of it is like showing up to things like this and going to other virtual things where I can start meeting like-minded people. And I feel like community, I've realized more and more through the pandemic, especially that that is like directly related to my mental health.
Yes, I second that. Thank you for sharing, Jess. Ruth, what you got for us?
So I'm getting a dog this summer. And so my main goal is to like keep the dog alive and like happy through the end of the year and after that. But like we'll start with the year.
Yeah,
So
I
funny.
got you. Yeah, I mean, I agree totally. I think sometimes we take for granted the responsibility that comes with having a pet. I didn't. I just spent $300 last night because my dog's having stomach issues, and they had to go to the vet today. It was only $18 a day to get their medicines, but you know, it's like to me, it's a human. I would rather I value that life just as much as I do like a human life. So thank you for sharing, Ruth.
Also, more puppies in meetings.
Yeah, exactly. Well, thank you, everybody. Is there anybody else? I don't want to leave nobody out. Okay. Cool beans.
Oh,
I hear one of them beautiful animals now.
see, I'm sorry. I love my dog, but he's been barking all night. That's why I keep going in and out. Because anytime he hears anybody around the house, he goes nuts. And my neighbors are like in and out. So I'm gonna mute myself again.
It's all good. We understand. Thank you, Kendall. All right, y'all. Review from last week. Can anybody tell me what the key concepts of recovery are? If y'all can't tell me quick, then I'm gonna have to go through because we running tight on time. But I know somebody knows it was 5 of them. Somebody jump off for me. Give me a 1 at least. I can go off. The first one.
Self-advocacy, hope, personal responsibility, education, and support.
There you go. That's what I'm talking about. Thank you, Kathy. Hope, personal responsibility, education, self-advocacy, and support. And when I was really thinking about this today, I was just going into it. I really think those go in order because if you don't have hope, all the others really aren't gonna fall into place. Then if you're not taking responsibility for your actions and the way your life is, of course you might have circumstances that put you where you are, but you still have to, we still have to take personal responsibility. And then education, after you take personal responsibility, you have to educate yourself on where you're at, why you're where you're at, and what are you dealing with. And then self-advocacy, after you know what you're talking about pretty much, then you can advocate more proficiently for yourself. Then after that, I mean, I'm not gonna say that's last, but support. Find people in your life that's like-minded. I don't know who said that earlier, but finding like-minded people. Finding other people that thinks like you, that understands the aspect of wellness that you could have as supporters in your life, and that you may also be able to support them in their journey. What does recovery action planning consist of? There's quite a few things. I don't know if y'all remember what those were. Anybody? Keep in mind, the RAP plan is a part of the Wellness Recovery Action Planning. Anybody?
Has to do with making a plan for, kind of documenting what it looks like for you to be well, and then to document what it is that you need if and when you are in crisis, and then who the people are, and what the tools are, and what you need and what you don't need, because that's also important. Lots of pieces to it.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you, Amber. I'm gonna name some various parts. It's on the wellness toolbox, which is of course, well, we'll get to that. Daily maintenance plan. Then you have triggers and the action plan. So you have, things that trigger you and what you do about it. Then your early warning signs, and then what you do about it, which is your action plan. And then when things are breaking down and your action plan. So once again, I don't know if y'all remember last week, I said everything has an action plan. Anytime you have an issue, you always want to have a plan of how to battle that or combat that. And then the last two things are crisis planning and post-crisis planning. Last week, I think we went over wellness toolbox and daily maintenance plan. I also sent y'all like a RAP plan anyway that has all these parts in it. And if you so feel, something that you can set up for your own life. Could somebody tell me what is a wellness toolbox? Please.
I wasn't here last week, but from past experience, I can pretty much say that a wellness toolbox is just like a box of what you need to have before you spaz out, basically. Putting stuff in place, so using the right, you know what I'm saying? Like, I call it my spaz box because lately I've been having to dig in that mug and just keep myself out of handcuffs. You know what I mean? So like having that as a daily, something daily, and that's something new to me, that them using them, going back into that old toolbox and using those tools that I got 5, 6, or 7 years ago and applying it today to my life. And it works if you really want it to.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you for sharing, Kanisha. That's something you gave a great definition. It's tools that you have in your toolbox, not only to when you feel like you're about to spaz, but just to maintain your wellness. You don't have to be about to go through a crisis or a situation or a trigger. You can just be like, you know what, I just want to maintain my wellness. So it's certain things I do, whether it be every day, every other day, once a month. I think I told y'all last week that, once now I found me a new wellness tool, which is getting a pedicure, something I'm gonna do every 3 months. If I can afford it, I do it every month, but I can't. So, but it's just adding. But it made me feel good about myself to just be pampered for that moment. So it's just something that I've added to my toolbox. Something on a daily basis is journaling. I don't have to write a long 3-4 pages. I write it might be something I'm going through at that moment. I just need to vent it out. I might not have nobody to talk to at that moment. So. Yeah, thank you for sharing, Kanisha. Can somebody share with me what a daily maintenance plan is? Y'all remember? Or what would that be consistent according to RAP?
Daily, I feel I need to tie my hands behind my back because I'm a very non-violent person, and the only person I've ever felt like smacking is my boss right now. So, because she is so demeaning to everybody and talks down to us, and it's been really hard for me. But honestly, I just end up laughing at her because she's ridiculous. So that's my little maintenance thing. It's like I just end up laughing at it and I walk away because I've never been a violent person. She's the first person I think I've ever wanted to hit, which is a horrible thing. A horrible thing. And it's not just me, it's how she treats everybody. But I deal with everything with laughter though, which sounds really horrible, but I actually laugh at funerals, which is horrible, but my family knows how I am. So they deal with it and cover it up. I know it's horrible. It's a nervous reaction, but that's how I deal with a lot of things is laughter. It just gets me away from stuff.
Let's see. I would consider that more so a trigger, and then you have an action plan to deal with your trigger. But as far as a daily maintenance plan, I would say that would be like things that you do on a daily basis just to maintain your wellness. It could just be simple as taking a shower every day, to brushing my teeth, like good dental care. It could be, I go on a walk for 15 minutes every day. It could be I make sure I walk my dog for 15 minutes. It don't have to be things that you do every day. It could be things that you do, 2 days a week. It could be things you do on Saturdays. The daily maintenance plan is just things that that you do every day to maintain that balance that you want in life.
So to take care of yourself, really.
Yeah.
Basically.
It could be taking a shower.
Schedule.
Yeah.
It's like a daily schedule. Like how we have a daily schedule for work. A day, to me, a daily maintenance plan is like a self-check throughout the day. You know what I'm saying? Like, is my attitude right? Do I need to, take a minute and go put myself in timeout? You know, can I just go in the bathroom and wash my hands so I can feel that water so I know this is real?
Yeah.
I do that, by the way, all the time.
Yeah, I would consider those more so wellness tools, but those wellness tools are something that you still can add to your daily maintenance plan to use on a daily basis or a bi-daily basis. Yeah, thank y'all. Like I just said before, and once again, I just want y'all to keep in mind, I sent everyone, if y'all didn't get it, I have more than happy to send y'all a copy of the actual wrap plan, which includes all these things that I'm about to name, which is the wellness toolbox, the daily maintenance plan, triggers and action plan, early warning signs and action plan, excuse me, when things are breaking down, an action plan, crisis planning, and then post-crisis planning. One person, I just want to ask, this is a quote that I found that I really stood out to me. If your body is not right, then the rest of your day will go all wrong. Take care of yourself. And for me, at the end of the day, man, it's just you have to take care of yourself. A lot of times we can look at our days and see how they fluctuate. They're kind of like up one moment, down one moment. We want to stay in that balanced space, man. It's just the best way to do that for me personally is to take care of myself and to create a plan for my wellness. One person, can somebody tell me, like, just is wellness important to you since we've been talking about it? And if so, have you already begun taking your action plan? No judgment. If you haven't, it's cool. I just want to get some insight real quick.
So I actually talking with Christine, my breakout room partner, about doing something, because I realize that I'm getting depressed when I look around and I feel like there's clutter everywhere. I'm not cleaning. So I actually cleaned my living room. It's like I could see the floor and it didn't even take me that long. But it was a lot of recycling, you know, boxes of stuff that I had ordered and stuff. So I started on that.
Yeah,
definitely, because it makes you feel better. I mean, it's like I can walk in my living room. It's like there's not shit all over the place. That is just empty shit that needs to be taken out. So yeah, that helped me. So I started that. Thanks to Christine.
Well, thank you, Christine. Next, the next thing on the wellness recovery action plan is talking about triggers. Just give you a little explanation and the breakdown. So triggers would be considered external events or circumstances that may make you feel uncomfortable. These are normal reactions to life events. But if you don't respond to them, they may actually make you feel worse. Some examples would be like traumatic news, like somebody dying, a friend of yours, you know, getting in a car wreck or anything of that extent. Spending too much time alone could be a trigger. Work stress could be a trigger. That's one for me. Being teased. Like for me, one of my triggers is people yelling at me. I don't like individuals yelling at me. But that's something that I have to articulate to the individual who's maybe yelling. But anyway, that's an action plan part. And then also financial problems. That's another trigger. Somebody give me one trigger that they would consider a trigger. I'll put a little thing in here. What triggered me? Like sometimes it's certain things that people do that trigger you, or like because you might feel powerless, excluded, unheard. You might feel unloved. You might feel frustrated. You might feel blamed, judged. You know, you might feel like the bad guy. You know, I've had experience. Matter of fact, over the last week, where an individual that I'm working with felt like they were the bad. This isn't through Step Up, but they felt like they were the bad guy in the situation. But it's something that wasn't articulated. But that was a trigger for her. But we didn't know that until she told us after the fact. But from there, like even her, I told her like, hey, what's the action plan when you feel like when you feel like somebody's making you feel like you're the bad guy? What now? Looking forward, what would be the action plan for you? And she came up with, you know, telling people how I feel, which falls right under self-advocacy. You know, telling people how things make you feel. You know, and if they care about you or really want to engage in that relationship or conversation, they're gonna, you know, like, hey, that wasn't my intention. You know, what can I do to make things, you know, that this experience better for you? All right. And then the thing about these things that we're talking about, like with triggers, when early warning signs and when things are breaking down, Those three things is always an action plan. We always want to have an action plan through things that we're dealing with. Just like how we have action plans for our goals. Just like we have action plans for our goals in life, let's create action plans for our issues in life, that cause things. Like, for instance, I give you an example, like work issues. You might want to speak to your employer. Sometimes we hold things in rather than speaking out about something that's bothering us. You might feel overwhelmed for the workload that you've been given. Speak about it. Speak to your employer about it. That's a good way, rather than holding it in and you agitating and you're backbiting, talking about how your supervisor's back, or, rather than just coming to the forefront like, hey, I feel real overwhelmed right now, and I try to do my best that I can, but I want to be sure that, I'm giving my best work. So is there any way that you can maybe assign this assignment to somebody else, or whatever the case may be? There might be some traumatic news. That's the action plan would be, hey, look, let me talk to one of my support people that's in my life. It could be a friend, a family member, depending on who you can trust to have that conversation with. Another trigger might be spending too much time alone. So an action plan would be scheduling a date with a friend. A date is not necessarily with somebody that's that you're intimate with. It could be just a friend. Like, hey, let's schedule a time where we go to do something me and my wife used to do. We used to do that cheers and paint, where you go, it's like a wine and painting. I love that. I can't paint worth a flip, but the drawings are already traced out. So it's just a time of enjoyment and relaxation. And just
That's a lot of fun.
Yeah, definitely.
Fun.
Yeah, so that would be an action plan. Financial issues, to me, I was thinking about this when I put that an action plan for that would be, hey, let me reevaluate my budget since my income might have lessened, or hey, I might have lost a job and now I'm on unemployment. Rather than it's not to say it's not going to hurt, but always have a plan that's going to lessen the impact of what you're feeling, to where you can get through whatever situation you're going through. So an action plan would be, let me reevaluate my budget and seek support if needed. Like, for one, you got us. If you're having a financial issue and like, hey man, I need support. Can you help me, Bobby? Can you connect me with somebody that can help me with my budgeting? I'm gonna connect you with somebody. We got Rich in financial literacy, and we got other volunteers that's proficient and stuff like that, so we can help you with that. But if you're not seeking that support and you're trying to handle it on your own, it can get overwhelming and get real heavy for life. Okay, I'm kind of going kind of fast. The only reason I'm doing this and not being more engaging is just because of time restraints, but I really want to share these things with y'all, man. And if y'all have any questions afterwards or on a one-on-one basis, please, everybody has my number. Don't hesitate to reach out. But like the next aspect would be, writing down what are your early warning signs. Your early warning signs are internal. So it could be a feeling that it's not based on the certain circumstances happen. Like, a person disrespecting me, so now I'm feeling this way. It might be a feeling that came out of nowhere. So anyway, early warning signs are internal and may be unrelated to reactions to stressful situations. So it might be completely oblivious to anything that you're dealing with, but it's just like, dang, all of a sudden I feel like me. I told y'all how the weather affected me, and it had me just on a downtrodden type spirit, and I had to do things to get my spirit up. To be honest, I kind of stayed in that moment that whole day, to be honest, but it was something that I recognized, like, man, why do I feel like this? And I was speaking with Mackenzie, like, she even said, like, man, it just feels down. So it's just recognizing these things. And now I know, hey, look, when the weather's down, now I know, because I see how it affects me. Now I can create an action plan, because before I didn't really, I guess you say, take notice of how it's affecting me. So now, boom, look, when the weather get bad now, I know I need to go work out. I need to go chill with a friend. I need to go call Michael. I need to do something, to call Tim or call Mackenzie and just, have a conversation. This is something that I seen that I really wanted to share with y'all. It's about early warning signs. It says, traumatized people chronically feel unsafe inside their bodies. Think about trauma. Trauma is not necessarily something that's super dramatic. It could be something small, as far as losing a friend, like in a relationship, y'all had a disagreement. Trauma varies in severity. Traumatized people chronically feel unsafe inside their bodies. The past is alive in the form of gnawing interior discomfort. Their bodies are constantly bombarded by visceral warning signs, and in an attempt to control their processes, they often become experts at ignoring their gut feelings and in numbing awareness of what is played out inside. They learn to hide from themselves. They learn to hide from themselves. That's something that I've learned to do for years, instead of acknowledging what I'm feeling, what I'm going through, and getting through it, rather than just suppressing it and it constantly rising up and affecting me throughout my life. Like you could lose a family member, and then you try to suppress it, like, oh, I'm good, this is a part of life. That the truth of the matter is you haven't dealt with it, and the fact that you losing that close person keeps rising up and affecting you in a negative way, to where it's affecting how you process in life, how your day-to-day activities. That's something that we need to recognize and create an action plan for. So as far as early warning signs, some examples would be not keeping appointments. Like all of a sudden you find yourself, I ain't keeping my appointments. You might have this unknown feeling of hopelessness. You might be spending money impulsively. That's something I do when I'm trying to suppress a certain type of feeling. I find myself buying stuff, going to Amazon, buying stuff that I know good well I don't need. You might start having irrational thoughts about things, like, man, where did this thought come from? Why are my thoughts always drifting to negative, just negative results? An action plan, like for the first one would be, or for any of them, it might be peer counseling with the supporter. Something we talked about last week is about peer counseling, if y'all remember. Having that sit down with somebody, being able to voice and allowing them to voice any issue that they may be dealing with. Spending an hour a day on an activity that you enjoy. Like it might, for me, like me riding bikes, that brings me enjoyment. So cycling for an hour can help me suppress, not suppress, but like get through whatever issue or whatever early warning sign that I'm dealing with. They also have focus exercises, which would be like mindfulness exercise, meditation. That's a good way. If you find yourself spending money impulsively, get outside yourself for a second and say, hey, look, let me focus on, positive things so I can get out of this mindset of spending money. And then irrational thoughts, something I do, whenever I'm going through something, is I have a mental health day. Just like we have sick days for work, you also are able to take a mental health day. You don't have to tell your supervisor, hey, look, you know what, I'm dealing with my mental health, so I need to take off. Hey, look, I need to take a sick day. I'm dealing with some personal issues right now, and I need to take a sick day today. It might be just a day that you need to decompress. Might be that day that you need to go get your nails done, or that day that you need to just sit back and read and journal. That day that you need to just spend some time with your supporter, whatever the case may be. Just the goal is defining a plan to take care of yourself when you find these things jump up. And then we have when things are breaking down. This is like where you get to right before you hit crisis mode and you need somebody to take over. Excuse me. You may begin to feel even worse, very uncomfortable, or even dangerous, but you are still able to take some action on your own behalf. This is when you're on the edge and you feel like yourself about to break down, but you're still being able to make decisions and kind of, for the most part, think rationally. This is a very important time. It is necessary to take immediate and assertive action to prevent crisis. So the goal for this, when you feel yourself about to break down, this is a time where I really got to be very assertive and intentional about taking action. This is another thing that I've seen. It says, I'm so sick of pretending that I'm okay when breaking down inside. A lot of times we pretend like everything's okay when the reality is we're breaking down on the inside. And these are times where we need to reach out, seek help, seek support, really take care of ourselves. And a lot of times I see people, they get in survival mode. They don't want people to know what they're going through, or they might not even have no supporters where they can actually vent these things through. And so they end up breaking themselves down. So things are breaking down. Some actions that are things are breaking down would be like you start finding yourself substance using, going back to a substance that you were trying to remove from your life. You might find yourself avoiding eating. Like that's something I deal when I'm finding my anxiety raise. I start avoiding eating, and that's something that I need to start taking notice to. You find yourself unable to sleep, or you find yourself getting very needy. Some people like look at that like, I don't feel myself very needy. Feeling very needy is when, to me, is when I start throwing pity parties, or not indirectly seeking help, but kind of making it worse. Like, man, I would do this, but I know ain't nobody gonna answer the phone anyway. And to me, that's for Bobby, that's feeling very needy. So some things, some action plans would be, you know, let me talk to a supporter. Let me call my doctor, whether it be your psychiatrist, your therapist, your physical health doctor, or whatever, whoever your provider is. You might have a provider that's providing peer support or some other type of service. Reach out to them, you know, take control of your life. Arrange for someone to stay with you. If you're unable to sleep and you're feeling like lonely, and you're feeling like, you know, paranoid or whatever the case may be, you know, have somebody come over. If they're really your supporter, they're not going to mind coming over to stay with you. Also, if you're feeling very needy, write in your journal. Find you a journal, write. You know what? I'm having these needy feelings. I don't understand it. Like processing things through writing is a great way, man, to release things. It has been for myself, and I know for others as well. Then the next part would be, if things get to a point where, look, you know what, I can't maintain it, this is where you're gonna execute your crisis plan. For a crisis plan, when others may need to take over and or when you feel like things are out of control. A crisis situation may vary in severity depending on the person. The reason I put that is because I feel like what might be a crisis for you might be different for me. You know, a crisis for me may not be where I completely lost control. It might be like, you know what, I need somebody to come in and support me through a situation. The third thing is develop the plan slowly and when you're aware. It's hard to try to create a crisis plan when you're not feeling well. You know, you want to see, okay, what did I go through in this crisis and what did I need in this crisis? Then when you're well, you say, okay, this is what I need next time if this situation ever arises again. There's 9 parts to the crisis plan, but we'll run out of time. And if you want to have time, please, I don't mind breaking that down for you, but it is in the PDF that I sent everyone. And it's also, this is the main thing, it's something to provide to your supporters. Because if you're in crisis, the thing is you can't take control right now. You're out of control. So you need somebody that is able to approach situations consciously and logically to step in on your behalf to help you through the situation. That's why it's so vitally important. You can even use your RAP plan as a you can get it notarized and be used as a what's that legal document? Anybody can help me?
Power of attorney?
Power of attorney. It can be used as a power of attorney, depending on what state you're in. But I still would have one in place to help you through this process if you feel like the need that you need to create a crisis plan. And just FYI, man, life happens. Have a plan in place. That's what I say about everything that we go through in life. Always have a plan. Living in survival mode is for the birds, in my opinion. So when you have a plan, it removes you from that realm of survival mode to where you're actually moving more strategically. And being challenged in life is inevitable. Being defeated is optional. So you can stay down. Staying down is up to you. But challenge is gonna come. That's one thing I tell people all the time. Like I keep going through this. I'm like, yeah, that's part of life. Some people deal with more challenges than others, but that's just a part of life. The thing is, we got to learn how to not still live in that defeated state of mind and just keep pushing, man. It's a part of life. We just got to figure out how to overcome and find those in our life that can help us do that. Post-crisis planning is pretty much just a timetable for resuming responsibilities when you can take back over, when you feel like you got things in order. You actually share that with individuals. And a post-crisis plan also describes what you need while you are resuming those responsibilities. So you might need somebody to come in and help you with the kids. You might need somebody to just come with you when you go grocery shopping and just be there as a supporter. And I'll end on this: keep fighting, keep progressing, keep moving forward. And you have to fight through some bad days to earn the best days in your life. I've been through a lot of bad days in my life, y'all. And I know y'all have too. But like, in order to get those that you gotta earn them. You know, you gotta push through, man, so you can have those best days. And now, as I'm progressing, as I'm learning, I'm having better days than I used to have back in the day. So that's what I want for everybody here today. That's all.
Bobby.
Yes, thank you, Bobby.
I gave like
Very
5 more
welcome.
minutes to financial education if y'all have any questions for
Yeah,
Bobby.
any
Or if
questions?
anyone didn't share their goal.
Or anybody just want to share anything about wellness, man. Like, to me, that's what helps me progress, and is to share, man, and talk about what I'm dealing with, talk about my goals, talk about, you know, things that I'm about to start implementing.
So like for me, Bobby, like if something else, I like, I've been saying this to myself probably since the new year came in, and it's like, like support, and not I don't know if I have the right support.
Mhm.
And
Well, see,
when you're going through stuff mentally, you're supposed to have people in your corner. And the people that are supposed to be in my corner, they're never available for me. So, and then I don't deal with family. I'm just not a person of talking to folk. But just like last week, I had a whole episode and didn't know what to do. I just shut everything out. I even communicated with you guys and let y'all know I'm not coming to class. I'm not. I had a whole episode and I had to figure out where it came from. And still going into another week, I'm still there trying to figure it out, but it do get better with time.
Hey, Kanisha.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm Tadrika. I don't know if you remember, but I remember us growing up around each other when we was like younger. Is your sister what's your sister Kenyatta and
Kendra and Kanetta?
Kanetta. Okay, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember you. We grew up together. We kind of, childhood.
Well, I think kind of relating to saying, some of the, not saying that I'm walking in your shoes or anything like that, but I was relating to what Bobby was saying about pity party, and all the time I'm telling myself, like, Tadrika, you having a pity party. But at the same time, it's like life happens and, it shows up. And considering that I have 3 children and, just different things happen every day. And I wasn't really prepared to have another baby when I, came from my incarceration, but things happen. And with Step Up, they made it a little bit easier, but I also had to do the footwork. But I just wanted to kind of encourage you, Kanisha, each day, man. Each day is going to get better because I cry a lot of nights. Like I probably cry tonight in the shower just thinking about, all the tasks ahead tomorrow. But guess what? I promise you, if we just like, I'm not a meditation person, don't know how to do it correctly. But I am coming up with my own toolbox, and it's just working. Just remember, every day, baby girl, you're gonna feel better, and just try to like. We gotta. So this world's so mean, Kanisha. We just gotta push for that positive energy. We just gotta fight it. When you feel, I don't know, you just gotta fight it, baby. Like, I don't know how to explain it, huh? I know we gotta stop. Okay.
No. I'm not stopping. No, I just said this is a perfect opportunity. Like when we're talking about supporters, this is a perfect thing. Y'all from the same areas. Y'all from the same hood almost. Yeah. Like connect, get each other's phone number, man. Y'all both striving for the same thing. Y'all both like-minded. Find people that's trying to be well with themselves. This is a perfect opportunity to have a supporter.
So Kanisha, I'm gonna be honest with you. Let me tell you, I'm gonna be all the way honest with everybody on this thing, right? So I'm an impulsive person, and with me being so nice, I really don't know how to say nice no. Or no, I don't. So it's like, well, then with the environment I'm in, right? So I'm in this environment that I left. And regardless if I'm trying to fight and strive and push for greatness, right? The energy that's in the environment, people may not have the same knowledge as me or may not have that same drive. So with that being said, I have to push myself away, because if I don't, it's a great percentage that I could either drown because of the energy that I'm choosing to be around. And so with that being said, I'm not looking down on nobody, and I'm not judging anybody, but I know what's working for Tadrika and I know what's not working for me. And being in the same environment, it makes me feel connected to the same old life. And so I want more, I want better, and I need help with getting better and wanting more. So I have to just So we ain't gonna talk everybody's head out tonight.
But look, that's why I want. I would love for y'all to exchange.
Core, please go.
Yes, and get connected. Tadrika and Kanisha.
Hey, I'm gonna give her my number in my chat. I mean, in the chat.
Okay. So yeah, y'all connect, man. And Kanisha, please, Kanisha, call me tomorrow. I really definitely want to talk more about this.
I will, and it just makes sense for you to end with the quote of you have to fight through some bad days to earn the best days of your life. And
Google and muggle.
it ain't, you
Yep.
know, these days been rough. You know, it been real rough, and all you can do is fight. Like either you gonna fight or give up, and I ain't know, you know, I'm not gonna give up. I'm gonna fight, but I don't like it. I'm very uncomfortable right now, Bobby.
Yes,
I'm very
girl.
uncomfortable. So you know, they say when you get uncomfortable, you'll start doing some stuff differently now.
Yeah, definitely. Although, you know, although all our circumstances are different, man. Like me, I'm trying to process the separation. Tydrika, she's trying to process being a single mom. You trying to process being a single mom, man. It's a lot that we deal with. That's why we got to reach out and like talk, man, and seek that support, man. We ain't made to do this thing alone. I really don't believe that as human beings, because I couldn't have did it by myself. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. I really love you guys, man. Love to me is just like saying like, hey, look, I let it care about you, and I really want to see the best for you. So that's my ultimate goal, man, is seeing all y'all be successful. Like that's what about them on my heart. So but yeah, I think we got 30 seconds, y'all, so we can go ahead and cross over.
Bakari?
Okay. Thank y'all for this session, though. I love it. I love it. Kanisha, I'm gonna talk to you tomorrow. Tydrika, you too, bro.
Okay.
All right, y'all.